I'm starting our live feed now.
Hey, Ron.
Mhm.
My download speed was 3.1 and my upload speed was 31. And anyway, I think it's working pretty good.
Excellent. Dorothy from Victoria. Thank you. Thank you, Greg. Dorothy from Victoria.
I just wanted to mention about Quick Assist. I use it all the time. And I have Microsoft Home, and I don't really know what the people who I connect to have, but I don't know if it's something to do with the person that you're helping being signed into your Microsoft account on your machine. But as a helper, I have to sign into my Microsoft account to help. But I haven't had a problem unless it's happened in the last 2 weeks. So, and regarding the normal ... that used to happen all the time when I worked in the federal government. Basically, the normal ... on a Word document is how a person has changed the margins and the spacing and the formatting from the normal one that comes with Microsoft. So what we used to do is replace the normal ... on the machine. So just a suggestion, but don't go do anything. I would reboot. Always reboot. That's the IT solution.
That's the IT solution. That works. It does work.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much, Dorothy. That's great. And welcome from Victoria. Are you getting rain down there, or what's your?
Well, it's pretty dark here. It looks like rain could happen, and it was, of course, much darker this morning when I woke up.
I was reminded last week there's a big contingent from Victoria that comes to our show. So thanks for coming. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you for everything, everyone.
Well, yes, thanks a lot. Yes, and anyone else have anything to say? We're going to put a poll up. I'm going to put a poll up now so that I'd like everyone, if they could answer the poll. I did it quickly, so let me just explain how a poll works. And I'm going to launch this here. Can everyone see that? It's a social, we want to know what social media you use, and this has to do with some of the topics today. And so if you just click the yes for the ones that you, that I hope this is going to work. I did this in it hastily this morning. Can you?
You should put none.
Yeah, well, I did this can you guys, does it work? Can you click? Did I do it right, or did
I clicked submit, but it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, I think
You have to send the poll when you finish.
No, but I didn't.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm misreading something.
No, can you actually click anything in the poll? Did I screw this up?
I'm
clicking on it.
Nothing's happening.
No,
you can't. You're a co-host.
Yeah, the host can't do anything with it.
Yeah.
I think you have to answer every
No, I'm
question.
getting, I'm saying
I
it's
only
coming.
use one of them.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, yeah, I'm getting some stuff. So that's good. So what I want you to do is just click if you use it. We just want to know how many people use this. So if you just click the yes or click on one of the responses, and we'll get some information on that, and that would be great. We're trying to figure out what type of social media you use, and you'll see that has something to do with the show today.
You have to do choice 2 on like ones you don't use, like TikTok or Snapchat, in order to submit.
Yeah, just we only want you to click on the ones that you use, and that gives us.
What if you only use one on that whole line? And
that's fine. Just click on one. Don't click on one. Just yeah. Don't answer no. Just click on it. If you use it, just click on it now, and we'll see. And it's about
seeing a poll.
I can't submit it.
Ron.
Yeah.
It won't let me submit it with just one answer. It wants me to answer all 5 questions.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you've got them all marked as required.
Oh, crap.
That's all right. They can just
right.
They can click on no. It's choice 2.
Choice 2 is no then.
Oh, okay.
Choice 2 will be no. Okay. Sorry about that.
Where'd it go?
It went away.
Yeah, it disappeared.
Did it?
Yeah.
I still see it.
I
still see it.
I don't see it.
On that corner because it was in the screen.
Let me check
That's
the
the
Uh,
X on the corner.
it's there. It's there.
Sure.
I'm seeing it. I'm on an iPad.
Okay. All right. So if you can do it, that would be great. If you can't, don't worry about it. We just wanted to get a rough idea. So if you can do it, that's great. If you can't, don't worry about it. It's not the end of the world. It's
No,
not-
but it's fun giving you trouble.
Yeah.
Well,
Today started rough. So, it's, as I said, anyway, we'll see how this all works out.
Oh my
okay, I
goodness, it's
answered
gonna
it
be a-
just in chat.
It's gonna be a Monday all day.
It, it is indeed. What else? Does anyone have? So we're going to sit around. We've got about 10 minutes left. If anyone has any tech questions, we have all the experts here. We can answer. Well, I'm going to say experts. I mean, whatever. We'll try and answer your questions. Lots of news to this week. We'll be talking about some of that in the show today. Does anyone have any questions or comments? Please, Jim Blast, go ahead.
Yeah, I saw an ad for a app for a webcam that will follow you if you're standing and you move. That'll actually let the camera follow your movement. Do you guys know anything about that?
There are several of
I'm
them
sorry,
out
the
there.
girl I liked was Olivia, who won. She
Somebody's
won.
talking on here.
Not anymore.
Okay, thank you. There are several of them out there. I don't know. There are a lot of them are showing up as ads on Facebook, so I don't know how good they are. I've got one coming that's that was an Indiegogo, and I expect it probably later this month. And I've seen ads for some other ones. Some of them look interesting. Some of them, I don't know if they're going to work or not.
Now, was this a camera or an app for a camera?
Some of them, they're not a camera. It's usually the holder, and it's built into the holder with software. And the holder is actually moving the camera. The camera physically moves and follows you.
That sounds interesting. Because I do teach a class where I have to move and I'm off screen half the time.
Yeah, some of those, there have been several over the last few years. I followed one. I was interested in buying one probably 4 or 5, no, not quite that. Yeah, probably was 4 or 5 years ago. And I watched it be introduced and I watched a lot of articles on it. And then I kind of lost track of it. I don't even know if it's still out there. But lately there have been a lot of handheld with gimbals built in and will follow you and so on. So I've got one coming. It'll join the gadget parade for Tech for Seniors. And actually Ron's got one on his hand.
So I don't know if you can see this. This is my new Jim. This is my new DJI gimbal, DJI 2 gimbal camera, and it's really cool. It's very, very small, 4K, and it will track you. You can set it on a tripod, and then you can go all around the room, and it will sort of follow you and track you, and it's excellent. So this is a really cool device, but this is not software. The software is in the device, right? I think you were talking about is an app that you could add. So that's
right. That's what I saw an ad for.
Yeah, they're a combination of hardware and software, Jim.
Okay.
And the one Ron was just holding, Ron, you and I had asked you if that could be used like a webcam.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I did some research on it. That particular one, there is another part that if you get when you order it, if you had ordered the plus something else, it comes with another piece to it that will work. I believe I think it's Bluetooth, and it will connect to a computer or to a phone anyway.
Cool. It works really great. I mean, I did some testing. It locks onto you, and so I went out and took a golf club, and I did a little thing on how to swing a golf club in it. And I walked around and went to the left and went to the right. Camera followed me, picked up the sound, and everything. It was pretty good. It really worked well.
Yeah, and I think the one with that extra piece that will work with as a webcam, I think is about the total with the two pieces are about $350.
Mhm.
Got some
The
hands
one
up.
you have, I think, was what, 250, 300?
Right. John Flower, go ahead.
I missed the poll. I don't know. I came in late and could not find it on the poll. I don't know if I missed out on it or not.
It is up. We're actually going to close the poll right now, I think, so that we'll just before we get to Carl. Carl, sorry, John, is that don't worry about it. We're just getting a rough idea, and I think we've got a good idea of what we sort of expected. I'll share the poll in just a minute. Carl, did you have something you wanted to say?
Yeah, I have a challenge question for everybody and an inventor. My brother is suffering from a younger brother of hard hearing. In 1 year, he can't hear at all. And I saw an ad for this Clear Choice landline phone. It basically has a closed caption kind of display. And when the caller calls in, the phone will convert his voice to text. And of course, that means it only works with a landline because it's a separate device. I'm curious, and I have not been able to find anything where you could, maybe a carrier would have to provide it, but you could do that with a cell phone using it in a speaker mode, and it would convert the call into a text like closed caption.
So Carl, that is a common question and a common thing that the technology does. I'm not exactly sure how you would do that, but it is to be able to take voice and put it into text is something that's really built into most things now. So I'm sure that's possible. Carl, I just want to get the poll results before we get started on the show. Okay, we can maybe talk about that in the question and answer afterwards. Is that okay? That's a good question. Excellent question. I just want, Hewie, are you there? Where are you, Hewie?
I'm here.
So here's the results of the poll.
We got
about 72% of people use Facebook, which we sort of, thought that would be so. Twitter, 12%. Snapchat, nothing. Instagram, 22% of people use Instagram. Interesting, eh? And TikTok, 11%. So I thought, he and I talked about it this week. We thought maybe more on Twitter.
No, I figured Twitter would actually, it's a little higher than the national average.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
Instagram, 22%. Maybe we should talk more about Instagram. What do you think about that? I don't know. That's a fair number, right?
Well, since it's integrated with Facebook, that's probably a good idea.
Maybe. Yeah, you're right. And then TikTok, 11% of people. I thought we're seniors using TikTok. Well, that's cool, right?
Well, as long as you realize it's controlled by China.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's cool. Yeah, it's sort of interesting. Yes, indeed. So did that give you the information needed, Hewie?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Hewie's going to be talking about some social media stuff today, so it should be interesting. Well, we have. Yeah, fits right in. That'd be great. So we have 3 minutes left before we start. We have a time for a couple more questions if anyone's interested. And then we will get the meeting started. We have an action-packed meeting for you today. Lots of cool stuff and interesting things happening in the world of technology, where you can find it all on our Facebook page. I just posted about 12 articles this morning that were hot off the news feed. So we'll talk about those.
Yeah, and I posted one too today.
Yeah. So if you want to follow, that's where you get all the latest in technology. Some cool stuff on there.
There's chatter that there might be a major breach for those of us that are on T-Mobile.
Right. That's right.
And if it's a fact, it's not pretty because lots of information is being shared.
I guess, we can bring that up. Leo Laporte was talking about that this morning on Sunday on his show, and there's a possible breach. We don't know if it's for real yet.
Right, it's not confirmed.
And it's over 100 million. This could be another Equifax breach sort of thing, and that is T-Mobile's customer list. which includes what is it? The EMI, AEMI. What is your phone's number? Is it AEMI or EMI or something like that? Plus your social insurance number, your driver's license, and all the information about you that could be.
You muted. What happened?
Somebody.
Okay.
So anyway, yeah, it's interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. So Bob, you just got that this morning, eh?
Yeah, right. So it will not be part of my security news roundup because that gets done on Friday.
Yeah.
And this happened. I just spotted it this morning.
Yeah, I did too. Well, Leo was talking about it on a show on Sunday, and I thought, this does not sound good. So anyway, lots to talk about with that, because that could be a biggie for you, for everyone.
I heard
it's that time, sir.
It's that time. We are going to get going here. Just let me get this organized here. It is now 9 o'clock. I'm going to mute everybody. We'll mute all. And we are going to get going here. I'm going to share my screen. Tech for Senior, episode 73, August the 16th, 2021. Welcome, everyone. We have about 81 people in our Zoom meeting with a bunch over on our live feed. So I hope everyone noticed the new intro that we had. Bill James, did you notice that you're now in the intro? Where is Bill? Were you watching that carefully?
Yes, thank you.
That is version 8. So we've added you into the intro. We wanted to make you feel welcome. So welcome, Bill James, and welcome everybody. As I've said many times before, we get our enthusiasm from you, and thank you for coming. We really do mean that. Thank you for coming. Thank you to subscribing to our newsletter. As you know, this meeting is recorded. This is our Zoom meeting, which never changes. It's always the same. And we also are broadcasting this over on YouTube, and we're doing this, it's live over on YouTube. Now, those of you on YouTube who are listening, the show will end about 10 minutes to the hour and just before the music segment. So if you, we have 81 people in the show today. So if you want to pop over and join the Zoom meeting, you're most welcome to do that. And you can participate in the question and answer part of the show. The question and answer part will go till about 20 minutes after the hour. And then we're going to give everyone a rest. And we have today in our premiere service, which starts at 10:30, which is a YouTube broadcast, and it will be starting right at 10:30.
1:30 Eastern time.
Oh, is there an Eastern time? What's the time zone thing? And it will be, the goal of the premiere service is to provide you with information for your computer club or what service you have. You may want, it's a snippet of it'll be episode 21 that I took this premiere service out, and I'll be talking on networking, modems and routers, and Hewie will be talking on how to create your own newspaper. Great talk he did about a year ago. And so both those will be broadcast on the premiere service. You just go to our YouTube channel. If you can't find it, you don't know how to get to our YouTube channel, please just go over and to our Facebook, to our website, and you'll see a great big button there. Click the button and it'll take you right to our YouTube channel, and you can watch that. And if you can't make it, it's recorded. And the goal of all these premiere editions, as I said, is that you can have them to use in your computer club or in your club if you want. So I want to take time and just remind and thank Elizabeth Bradley for her generous donation to our coffee fund. Thank you very much, Elizabeth. That was great. Now, how is everyone doing? Hewie, where the heck? How come you're
I'm
not
here.
up at the top? Well, you're over on the right-hand side. I don't know why you're not up at the top. You're always up by me. How come you're way down there?
You left and came back.
Oh, I see. I had to reboot. That was a bit scary. Yes. So how the heck are you doing? Now, listen, tell me, you were getting one of those keys, those security keys. Did you get it yet?
Yes, right here.
Are you going to talk?
No, I'm not going to talk about it. I'm trying to find out how to use the darn thing.
Well, when you find out, will you tell? I'm really interested.
It's brand new. It's a brand new version of it anyway. And there is, believe it or not, there's nothing on YouTube about them. And I have a bunch of questions and I don't know how to find. I've been searching and searching. I don't want to turn something on that I'm not sure whether I know how to shut it off.
Right. Well,
when you decide I don't want to use it. So.
Well, when you figure it all out, will you let us know how it works?
Oh, absolutely. And if anybody knows about the new Google Cloud Titan security key, it's the new one. It's got NFC built into it.
Mm-hmm.
Let me know so I can run some questions by you.
All right.
I'm stumped on this one.
We'll do that. Bob, tell me what's happening up in your neck of the woods. Your stove's working okay?
Oh yeah, the new stove. My wife loves it. And as long as she loves it, she does the cooking.
Hey,
happy wife, happy life.
There you go. That's a good one for you. Yeah. All right. And no word on Starlink yet.
No, I haven't done that much looking.
All right. And Dewey, where's Dewey? Dewey where are you, out cooking steaks, or where the heck are you? I don't see you on the list here.
I am here.
Oh, there you are. Oh, there you are. You popped up. Great. So yes. When am I coming over for a steak?
Well, again, whenever you can get here, I'll light up the grill and we'll have one.
All right. Thanks a lot. And Ray, what's new with you?
Well, as you know, in June we had the big fires here, and they're all out. Last week it rained every day, a little bit or a lot. In fact, Friday night coming home from dinner, it rained so hard, I pulled off into a Home Depot parking lot for about a half an hour. So we go from one extreme to the other.
Yes, indeed. Well, I told you we had some rain here today. And Bill James, we will be hearing lots from you on this Thursday, right? We'll be having lots of fun. So we will look forward to I got a bunch of gadgets too. So just don't you, if you think you're going to get a one up on, just you wait. I got a bunch of gadgets too, so they're still coming. So
I still have a couple more days to finish my collection.
All right, so the big Duke out on Thursday. Yes. All right. So lots happened this week in tech. So there's a number of things. Of course, everyone wants to know about the Galaxy 4 watch, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. But this morning, Leo Laporte was taught. This is really interesting. I got to tell everyone this. This was everyone has probably heard of NVIDIA cards. You know, they're cards that work all your computers now, and they make chips, and a lot of these cards go in your car. And of course, the CEO was Jensen Huang. And they had a premiere event 2 months ago in which Jensen Huang, who's the CEO of the company, gave a keynote address on this device. All right, on NVIDIA cards and so on and so forth. And of course, Leo Laporte was there listening and of course discussing this live on his YouTube broadcast. Now, it turned out as of yesterday, the big announcement from NVIDIA was he actually was never there. The actual individual who was on there was a computer animation, and it was their AI that actually created the whole thing. Now, most of us, there's a thing called uncanny valley. And this is a human response in which we pick out things that aren't human. And if we watch artificial intelligence, we come up and we can pick out, no, that's not really a person, right? But nobody got it. This is how good it is now. This is how incredibly good. The broadcasters, nobody knew, but they did this with their chips and so on and so forth. And it was, you couldn't tell it wasn't a real person, but it wasn't. They came out today and announced it. And I thought, this is going to be interesting, eh? This opens all sorts of interesting possibilities. In my last minute, the Watch 4. Well, I bought it. So Samsung Galaxy this last week, big announcement with their Samsung Galaxy Watch 4. I did purchase it largely to do some testing because there's lots of things that I need to find out about it because the phone's already ringing off the hook. I'm going to be on a bunch of shows talking about watches. Do I think there's anything you should race out and get it? Do you think this is a watch that you should race out and buy right now? I do not. You will see probably 10 articles I've already posted on our Facebook page. Lots of very interesting stuff coming out about this watch. And one of the big issues is compatibility, particularly in with other phones and with what will be available. And some of the key issues of this watch will not be available at time of release, such as the blood pressure, cardiac monitoring. I'm not even sure about fall detection, will not be available even in the United States. So there are lots of things coming up with this watch. You're going to hear more later today about a segment we've done on this, and we will be talking a lot about this in the coming weeks. So don't race out and purchase this watch until and a lot of people don't know about this watch very much yet because we actually haven't got it. It is not officially released until the 27th of August. So nobody actually, so what we're hearing a lot about is reviewers reviewing this and articles that are coming out. So that's lots more in technology. We also, Bob talked about the big one. I'm sure Bob will be discussing this many weeks in the future, was of course the big T-Mobile hack, and that will be coming up as well. So stay tuned because we have lots of stuff. Bob, are you ready to roll?
The Avast Security News Roundup for the week ending August 13th, 2021. Glowworm attack decrypts sound from light. Researchers at Ben Gurion University of the Negev published a paper this week in which they outline how a passive form of the Tempest attack called glowworm can reconstruct the sound passing through a computer speaker by analyzing the minute and nuanced fluctuations of that computer's power indicator LED light. After testing a wide array of consumer devices, including smart speakers, simple PC speakers, and USB hubs, the team concluded that the power indicator LEDs on the devices were generally influenced by the audio signals coming through the unit's speakers. To play out the glowworm attack, a photodiode was used to convert the perceived electrical current into an electrical signal. That signal was then run through an analog digital converter and played back as sound. Fortunately, even though the attack works, for once this is something we mere mortals do not need to be concerned about. Avast security evangelist Louis Carones reassured us. It could be used by some intelligence agency, but it has a number of limitations that prevent it from becoming a worthy attack vector. For more on the story, see Ars Technica. Coincheck loses $400 million in massive cryptocurrency heist. Recently, one of the largest cryptocurrency heists to date was carried out, netting roughly $611 million in Shiba Inu, Ethereum, and other digital currencies. Now, less than a day later, the person responsible wants to give the money back. The intruder stole the funds on August 10th from the decentralized Poly network finance platform through a vulnerability exploit. Not long after, however, several security researchers reportedly found identifying information, including the perpetrator's IP address and email address, along with the Chinese crypto exchange the hacker used. Poly Network shared the message showing in the image above, urging the thief to return the stolen assets. The perpetrator sent a token stating that they were ready to surrender and that they have already started returning the funds. The exact reason why the perpetrator wants to return the funds is still unknown, but it's likely in hopes of avoiding criminal charges. Read more at Review Geek. Kaseya decryption key leaked. Cloud-based IT management company Kaseya was the victim of a ransomware attack last month, but after its attackers vanished, the decryption key turned up online. The REvil ransomware gang attacked Kaseya in early July, in turn affecting 60 MSPs and 1,500 businesses. Strangely, after demanding $70 million for the decryption key, REvil seemed to disappear. Its payment sites were all shut down, but Bleeping Computer confirmed that a decryptor key mysteriously acquired by Kaseya is indeed the decryptor that can unlock any system compromised by the Kaseya attack. Facebook Dating adds some new features. EMEA Tech Communication Specialist at Facebook, Alexandru Boyka, announced on Twitter that Facebook Dating is getting 3 new features: Match Anywhere, Lucky Pick, and Audio Dates. Match Anywhere will allow hopeful singles to search for love in more than one location, intended for those who may have to work across multiple cities. Lucky Pick is meant for those whose search preferences are not hard and fast, introducing them to compatible matches who may be outside their typical preferences. And Audio Dates allows potential matches to start up an audio chat if both parties accept. Facebook Dating is not to be confused with Facebook's other dating app, Sparked. Read more at The Verge. Botnet attacks target millions of home Wi-Fi routers. After a researcher demonstrated the exploitation of a vulnerability in a Buffalo home Wi-Fi router, Buffalo patched the flaw, but attackers began exploiting the same bug in other router brands. According to Tom's Guide, all vulnerable routers were manufactured by Taiwanese tech company Arcadian. The models are sold by 20 different companies as various brands. The full list is available in the Tom's Guide article, and it includes devices put out by Verizon, Vodafone, and TELUS, among others. Savvy users can protect themselves by disabling remote access in their routers, while others will have to wait for firmware updates. Read more on Tom's Guide. This week's must-read on the Avast blog. There's no time like the present to set up two-factor authentication on your Facebook account, so hackers don't hijack your profile and use your own security against you. The following link to the article written by Christopher Budd gets you access to all that detail. My video on this topic will make setting it up even easier. And that wraps up this week's Avast Security News Roundup. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Bob. For those of you who don't know or haven't, Bob's article tomorrow in the Tuesday's edition has his playlist for all his security videos that he's done. So you will, by looking at his article tomorrow, just look down at the bottom and you'll see the playlist. Click on that, and that will list all his security videos that he's done, and it's an easy way for you to access them. All right, so thanks, Bob. That's great. I will be hearing a lot more on the T-Mobile thing. Eh? That'll be a biggie. So thanks again. So all right, now we have Dewey up. Let me just share my screen, and we are going to have a really great talk here. Let's just get going.
Good morning, friends. I'm Dewey, and my Tech Talk topic for today is revisiting infrared grills and sleep trackers. On August 2nd, my Tech Talk topic was, do sleep trackers really work? So much has happened in the last 14 days regarding sleep and health tracking wearables that I'll revisit this topic later in my Tech Talk today. But I'd like to start by revisiting my August 9th Tech Talk, which was the lowdown on infrared grills. That was just last week, because some good information was left out due to time constraints. Also, my attitude toward and opinion about certain aspects of infrared grilling and my new grill has also changed significantly. This is the photo I showed last week of the Charbroil 3-burner true infrared gas grill that I recently ordered directly from the company. It may look pretty fancy, but at $500, it's really in the lower priced, slower heat up and slower grilling time range of infrared grills. First, some things I missed last week. The grill is 53 inches wide and has a grilling area of 420 square inches. That's about 24 by 18 inches. 24 inches by 18, and big enough to do 15 regular burgers and perhaps a dozen steaks or chops. It has a side burner at right under the flip-up cover that doubles as a handy convenience shelf when the side burner isn't in use. The burner igniters are powered by 3 AA batteries and will light any burner with a single tap on the igniter button. A few nights ago, we had a couple over to share a 1.5 pound pork tenderloin fillet that Joanne had previously marinated using her favorite recipe. Charbroil's advice for infrared grilling a fillet like this mentioned that the grate temperature needs to be under 500 degrees, excuse me. I did it at around 400 degrees, which made control of the grilling process easier. I used an electronic cooking thermometer to determine when the pork tenderloin reached the requisite internal temperature of 140 degrees for cooking pork. Charbroil's recipe advised to cut the pork tenderloin in half. However, the half fillet on the left was just 2 inches thick and cooked more quickly than the thicker one on the right. Yes, it's thicker on the right. The left one had already reached 140 degree temperature and was flipped. Note the grill diamonds. By the way, anything you read on grilling, whether it's steaks, burgers, chops, whatever, they always say to rotate the piece of meat a quarter turn halfway through grilling the first side. When you flip it over, the top side has beautiful diamonds. This photo shows the thicker 2.5 inch pork tenderloin fillet after it had been turned on 3 of its sides to finally reach a temperature of 140 degrees. Note that the thermometer reads 141.2. This photo shows me cutting one of the pork tenderloin fillets, my mouth is watering, on a serving plate after they had rested for about 6 or 7 minutes. Observe the color evenness. I wish I could provide an illustration showing the amazing tenderness and flavor of these pork fillets as well. A final quick note. Stores like Home Depot, Lowe's, and Walmart each carry a selected segment of Charbroil's line, but no store carries their entire line. However, everything Charbroil may be purchased at their website, charbroil.com. Wayfair and Walmart happened to carry the model I bought, but I was surprised to learn that they charged as much as $125 more than I paid at Charbroil. I'd like to add a comment here. I don't mean to sound like I'm hyping for Charbroil, but Charbroil is the distinctive leader in infrared grilling, and that was what this subject was about. I ended my August 2nd Tech Talk, Do Sleep Trackers Really Work?, with a photo of the Fitbit Sense. See it there in the lower right-hand corner. It was perhaps the most highly rated Android tracker. I also told you that I had just gotten so fired up over this tracker that I ordered one at Amazon, dropped $300 on it. The next day I began looking at a Fitbit Sense reviews on YouTube, and I was distressed to note that virtually every review had several negative comments, especially about the accuracy of its heart rate, blood oxygen, and electrocardiogram monitors. At our TFS show on Monday, August 2nd, 2 weeks ago, co-host Dr. Ron Brown dropped some information regarding big changes coming in health tracking wearables and Google's new Wear operating system. I began reading tons of stuff on this subject and later watched Ron's Misunderstood Fitbit Sense video. Consequently, I decided to return the Fitbit Sense to Amazon and wait to see what was shaking out there with upcoming sleep and health tracking wearables. It didn't take long to realize that an Android earthquake was in process, centered on Samsung's Galaxy Watch 4 smartwatch sleep and health trackers to be introduced on Wednesday, August 11th. That was last Wednesday. I continued researching the Galaxy Watch 4 relentlessly, both on the internet and on YouTube. I found few negative comments, and by last Thursday evening, that's the 12th, I bit the bullet and ordered a 42 millimeter Galaxy Watch 4 Classic at Samsung's website. I wanted to be the first kid on the block who'd ordered one, but Dr. Ron had already emailed me earlier the day that he'd ordered a 40 millimeter Galaxy Watch 4 at Best Buy. I guess he got a $60 discount. Zounds, he beat me. Scott Stein at cnet.com writes that Watch 4 and Watch 4 Classic are basically the same internally, meaning that you should probably get the model you like the looks of the most. I disagree slightly. I think features are very important, even if the internal work mechanism is the same. The Watch 4 at left starts at $250 US and has an aluminum body. The Watch 4 Classic on the right starts at $350 US and has a stainless steel body. Perhaps the biggest difference is the Watch 4 Classic's physically rotating bezel to scroll through menus in navigating the watch. Galaxy Watch 4s are the first smartwatches to run on Google and Samsung's new Wear operating system. This involves partnerships with two brands that Google previously competed against in wearables, Samsung and Fitbit. By the way, Galaxy Watch 4s are not able to pair with iOS devices. So no sense buying one if you have an iPhone. Of course, you want to buy the Series 6 Apple Watch anyway. Before Wear OS, Samsung smartwatches ran software from the Korean company Tizen. Google-owned Fitbit smartwatches will also be switching to the Wear operating system, which likely spells the end of the Fitbit Sense, the smartwatch I bought and quickly returned. Important, Galaxy Watch 4's features only work when paired with a Samsung Galaxy smartphone that has the Samsung Health Monitor app installed and set to track data from the watch, according to AndroidCentral.com. This includes measurement tracking of your blood pressure, blood oxygen levels, VO2 max, irregular heartbeats, and body composition. I'll defer to Dr. Ron to explain what VO2 max is. I had never heard of it before. For now, there's no question that Samsung's Galaxy Watch 4s are leading the pack for Android-compatible smartwatches. Galaxy Watch 4s won't be sold in stores until after August 27th, perhaps later in Canada. In my opinion, the best way to pre-order the Galaxy Watch 4 is at a special Samsung pre-order websites set up for both the US and Canada. Incentives and discounts abound at Samsung's websites. August 26, 21 is the pre-order deadline in the US. October 4th, 2021 is the pre-order deadline in Canada. By the way, this is pictured is a Watch 4 Classic I ordered last Thursday.
What happened to Dewey? What happened to your, and I'm sticking with it?
You know, I must have forgotten. It was the second time I recorded it, and I apparently forgot it. I was very tired by that time. Sorry about that.
You always say, and that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. And I thought
I'd said that before on the first one, but I missed it on the second. Sorry.
Right,
by the way, my background is the city of Seoul, Korea, which is the home of Samsung, a giant company.
So Dewey and I, of course, will be in the question. I know there'll probably be lots of questions about this, lots of, hey, what's going on here? And we'll attempt to answer that in the question and answer period that will start at top of the hour. So there are I have some very significant feelings about this, and I have some, so before we get there, if you can't make the question and answer, just hold off on buying this watch for a few. Let's figure this all out, because there's a whole bunch of stuff. Dewey alluded to some of it, but there's lots more coming out as we learn more about this watch, because nobody has it yet except some reviewers. So we'll talk lots about that at top of the hour. So please stay tuned and have your questions ready. Now, Ray is going to teach us all about how much storage you have on your computer, right?
Well, it's something like that.
He's going to talk about words I've never even heard of before. So
I'm going to talk about words I can't even pronounce.
So, all right, Ray, take it away.
Share sound, share my screen. Oops. Okay, hello everyone. Today I'm going to talk about what comes after a terabyte. Or another way of another good question here is, how many zeros in a Dome Gemme Grotobyte? Yes, questions we all have. So, in general, capacities of storage devices have evolved. Depending on when you or we became involved with personal computers, over the years we've seen changes in the size of storage devices. First came megabytes. I remember saying the first time I saw a computer in the late 1980s with a 40 megabyte internal hard drive, that'll never get filled up. But then over the next few decades, we've moved up to gigabytes and now terabyte hard drives as standard storage space on our home computers. So what does come after a terabyte? Well, stay tuned. Now here's an article that was titled An Intuitive Look at Large Data Sizes. So the information I'm about to present was gleaned from this article, and it was written way back in 2012 by Julian Bunn. Now, according to LinkedIn, he is the principal computational scientist at Caltech and a research scientist at the United States Geological Survey. This presentation lists just some of the various comparisons of data sizes that are contained in the full article, should you want to check that out by searching with that above title. Okay, we begin with bytes. 8 bits to the byte. 1 bit might be a single character on a page, 10 bytes, a single word. Then we moved into kilobytes. And a kilobyte could be compared to a very short story. 2 kilobytes, a typewritten page. 10 kilobytes, an encyclopedic page. 50 kilobytes, a compressed document image page. And 100 kilobytes, a low resolution photograph. Well, that was probably true back in 2012. Okay, now we moved into megabytes. A small novel is 1 megabyte. 2 might be a high resolution photograph, again, back in 2012. 5 megabytes, the complete works of Shakespeare. 10 megabytes, a minute of high fidelity sound, or a digital chest x-ray. 50 megabytes, a digital mammogram. 100 megabytes, a 2-volume encyclopedic book. And 500 megabytes, a CD-ROM. Actually, CD-ROMs contain the ability to store 700 megabytes. Okay, now this particular comparisons, I found them difficult to appreciate because he doesn't give comparative sizes. As an example, the author says 1 gigabyte, a pickup truck filled with paper. Well, what size pickup truck? Or a symphony in high fidelity sound. Well, how long is that symphony? 2 gigabytes, 20 meters of shelved books, but not saying how these books are laid out. Is that the height of 20 meters and how wide is the shelf? 20 gigabytes, a good collection of the works of Beethoven. Well, define the word good. And then 50 gigabytes, a floor of books. 100 gigabytes, a floor of academic journal. How wide and how big is that floor? Then we move on to terabytes. This is a little bit more clear. 1 terabyte might be equal to all the X-ray films in a large technological hospital. Or a better way of comparing it, 50,000 trees made into paper and printed. 2 terabytes, an academic research library. And then 10 terabytes, and this is pretty amazing, you can fit on 10 terabytes the printed collection of the U.S. Library of Congress. Again, this is back in 2012. I'm sure it's a lot larger now. All right, this is what comes after a terabyte, a petabyte. 2 petabytes might be all U.S. academic research libraries. 20 petabytes, the production of hard disk drives in 1995. In other words, he's saying if you add up the total capacity of all the hard disk drives that were manufactured in the year 1995, they would equal 20 petabytes. And 200 petabytes is all printed material. And an exabyte, 5 exabytes would be all words ever spoken by human beings. So now we're getting to the point where it's going to be difficult to do any kind of comparison. So a zettabyte would be compared to what we measure in the way of internet traffic. So back in 2012, there was an article written in PC Magazine that said predicting internet traffic to reach 1.3 zettabytes by the year 2016. Then in the year 2016, in March, there was another quote from an article entitled, "How Big is the Internet Really?" And that said, by the end of 2016, global internet traffic will reach 1.1 zettabytes per year, according to Cisco. And by 2019, global traffic is expected to hit 2 zettabytes per year. Well, when you consider the prediction made in 2012, looks like they came very, very close to meeting that prediction in these very, very large numbers. Then you have a yottabyte, named after Yoda, they say. Exonabyte, Silentobite. And here's the one that we started off this presentation talking about, a Dome Gemme Grotobite. And I asked the question, how many zeros would be in that number? 33 zeros. That's right, you heard it here first. Okay, thank you very much. That's the end, and back to our program. So I hope you all learned something new.
I don't think I can pronounce those.
I had trouble.
Provided the zeros come after the one, you got lots of it. If they're before the one, not so much.
Yes. Hey, what's the largest hard drive? It must be a petabyte is the largest hard drive that's made, eh?
I don't know, because I would have presumed hard drives for consumers versus hard drives for industry are different.
Yeah.
So, IBM, I'm sure, has hard drives in their headquarters that are in some of those names I can't pronounce.
Well, the future of YouTube and things like that will all be dependent on how much data we can store, right? Because what we're doing is like crazy. I mean, the amount of data we're storing. All right. We better get over to Hewie. Hewie, are you ready to roll?
Almost. I got the wrong button here. Hang on one second.
Get your old Stream Deck rolling there.
And we should be ready to roll. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Tech for Seniors, Twitter. I'm Hewie Poplock. What this is, Tech for Seniors friends are typical seniors. Many shy away from social media. Those who use social media usually use YouTube and Facebook. Very few, if any, use Twitter. We will cover why you might want to use Twitter, and we'll also cover some ways to use Twitter. What this isn't, a Twitter tutorial, a review of Twitter. So what is Twitter? This is a shorter branch of social media and is for quick updates of up to 280, formerly 140 characters. Twitter is an option that makes you think about the words you use because you only have so many. You can share images and articles as well. Twitter is shorter than other social media, such as Facebook. Twitter began as an SMS text-based service. This limited the original tweet length to 140 characters, which was partly driven by the 160 character limit of SMS, with 20 characters reserved for commands and usernames. Over time, as Twitter evolved, the maximum tweet length grew to 280 characters. Still short and brief, but enabling more expression. Photos can be up to 5 megabytes. Animated GIFs can be up to 5 megabytes on mobile and up to 15 megabytes on web. Twitter accepts GIF, JPEGs, and PNG files. They do not accept a BMP, TIFF, or other file formats. Your photo will be automatically scaled for display in your expanded tweet and in your gallery. Let's look at the percent of U.S. adults in each demographic who say they ever use any of these social media. We'll zoom in a little bit and we'll see that this chart has a lot of information in it, but we're going to zoom in on the 50 and above range. That's two groups, one from 50 to 64 and one to 65 plus. That's what most of the people who are on Tech for Seniors fall into these categories. And let's look at Twitter explicitly. And the 50 to 64, there's about 18% say they have ever used Twitter, but 65 and above, only 7% have used Twitter. Now, there are several different participation levels in Twitter. You can share nothing, all the way up to share actively. You can follow interesting people, consume their tweets, and follow news and trends without ever participating more than that. You can use it to follow brands, you can use tweets for customer support, and you can like and retweet. And on the sharing actively, you can tweet about news topics and news, you can share pictures and videos, and you can comment on other tweets. Here's a typical tweet from twitter.com. You'll see that there's an avatar for the user, and then their username and handle will come after the @ at the top. In the article, there is a link, and then at the bottom, you can reply, you can retweet, you can like, or you can share. Now, I use a program called Hootsuite. I'm going to demonstrate both Twitter and Hootsuite. But let's take a look at Hootsuite. This is an article that I posted on Twitter using Hootsuite, and this is how it appears on Hootsuite. You'll see at the bottom that you can do the same. Reply, retweet, quote, or edit. You can like it. You can assign it to or assign it to me. And you can reply direct message or send to an email. This was an article that I posted because Amazon had delivered packages and set them on our handicap ramp. And I said they shouldn't be doing that. So I did the @Amazon to call the attention of Amazon. Within minutes, I got a reply from Amazon's help. We'd like to look into this with you. Can you tell us if this happened with the same carrier each time? You can find this information. I replied to them. They then gave me a link to go in and fill out a form, which I did, and they then said that they will do some follow-up. So within minutes of me posting something on Twitter, I got a reply from Amazon. That wouldn't happen if you posted on Facebook, or if you try to reach them by phone or by email. Certainly wouldn't be within minutes that you would hear from them if they were going to do anything at all. Okay, let's do a quick demo of Twitter and of Hootsuite. Let's go to twitter.com. I'm already signed in. You'll see that this is my Twitter page. You can see that I can scroll down and see many articles. But let's go down to profile. This shows my profile. It shows that I joined in April of 2008. I am following 187 people, businesses, or groups, and I have 119 followers. I can click on this and it will show me what I am following, and I can also look to see who my followers are. So let's go back to the home of Twitter, and this is in the time order. So it'll be the latest. So this was 2 minutes ago. This was posted by someone that I'm following. These are all things that I follow, and that's all I see. Now, I can go to any one of these, let's say Review Geek, see who that is, but then I can also click on the article. It takes us to that article, and I can read the article. Then I can go back to Twitter, and there it is. And then I can either reply to it, retweet it. That means I can click on it and then post it with my name. And this is what gives it a lot of traction. I can just like it, or I can share it with somebody else in several different ways, including emailing it. So that's pretty much what Twitter is about. You just go down and you can see the different articles. There's very little. It only shows up to 280 characters. That's all it allows. And they may not have all 280 characters. You can find any particular article and then click on it and read more if there is more available. That may be all there is, but then you can retweet it, you can like it, you can do whatever you want with it. So you don't have to do anything but just look at the articles. So you're not an active user, but you can still utilize the information that you can get from Twitter. Hootsuite.com. Let's go to Hootsuite.com. Hootsuite is a website, and they also have an app that allows you to use some social media programs within one website or within one app. I have the free version, so I'm only allowed one social media, and I chose to use Twitter. I am logged in to Hootsuite. So when I click on hootsuite.com, I have the choice to go to dashboard or upgrade my plan. But we're going to go to my dashboard, and here is my dashboard. I have some preset searches in Hootsuite. I have my home. I have anything that I have tweeted, anything that mentions my name, and then I'm following Giga Stacy, which is Stacy Higginbotham's Internet of Things account, so I can see anything there. So let's take a look first at my account or my profile. You'll see that I do have a free plan, and so I could upgrade from here, but I'm using the free plan. So we're going to come back to my dashboard, and you can see here in the home column are any of the tweets that I've gotten that are up to date and in order of time. So we start with 2 minutes ago, and as we scroll down, you'll see that you may even see some articles that we saw when we were using the Twitter page, because obviously any of these tweets are things that I'm following on either. It's going to show up in either of them. Now, if I want to add one, I am going to search now. I'm going to search for Chromebook. When I do, it creates a new stream or column, and it shows me anything that's got Chromebook in it. But you'll notice that some of these are from other countries in languages that I don't know how to read and don't understand. So I can do something about that. However, I am going to delete that stream, and this time I'm going to do a search on Chromebook and add LANG for language, EN for English, and tell it to search. And now any of those that were in a foreign languages are no longer there, and I have all of the tweets that have the word Chromebook in them. Some of them may be something I'm interested in, some may not. Sometimes I find some interesting articles or some interesting photos to use in some of my presentations. So I like to have this. So here's something for 10 quick tips for your Chromebook. And if I click on it, it will open it up. This is something from YouTube and other articles dealing with Chromebooks or Chrome with the word Chromebook in the article. Now I can also add another stream. I can add another social network if I'm in the paid version. So I could actually, let's take a look at that. I could add Facebook. Obviously, we have Twitter in there now. I could add Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, or Pinterest if I was using a paid account, which I am not. I can also post from Hootsuite if I wanted to as well. That's pretty much it for Hootsuite. I just use it because it's more convenient than Twitter, and I'm able to do searches a lot quicker and have certain searches already completed for me whenever I go there. So I can add more columns, add more streams if I wanted to. And so as soon as I open a Hootsuite, it's up to date and has all of the stream that I am looking for. Hootsuite.com. Thanks for joining us. This has been Twitter for Tech for Seniors. I'm Hewie Poplock.
Thanks so much, Hewie. That was great. Interesting. And I think the stats were about the same as we found, was it not? On our
we were at 11. The poll was at 11%, and national 65 and above is 7%.
A few more, but we got a tech sort of group with our group, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. And interesting how quickly you got a response to Amazon, eh?
Oh, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
I was really surprised. And they did say that they will retrain and make sure they train people not to do that.
Could use that same @ also within Facebook if you wanted to get somebody's attention. I do that quite often with @Avast, and I quite often get responses that way.
Might be some interesting stuff to talk about at the top of the hour. All right, Ray, are you ready? Now, hold on a sec.
Yes,
I just want to sign off from our live stream over on YouTube. Thank you for those of you who are coming. We'll be logging off now. We'll see you next week. If you want to come over to our Zoom meeting, that's fine. And we will have our Q&A at top of the hour. And we've got 85 people. So we have some room for you if you want to come over